Okay, I'm back from different device. Let's try this one. Um, Hi everybody again. Hopefully this time is working my sound and it's better because this time it's really important. Something that I was talking about to my friend, how our families are making decisions right now in Ukraine. Our friends, how they make decisions on leave their home, or not to leave their home, and how we were talking how we actually make decisions as people in our lives. And there is processes that we all follow in our regular days and at work and in our life, like when you have a problem. Hi everybody, thank you for saying hi. At work, and like for example, you recognize you have a problem, like you gather information, you analyze it, you think about all the scenarios, what you can do, you project what outcomes you're gonna have. But all this is great when you have time to do that, and if it's not a safety concern, let's say, in your life. So we were thinking about that, like how we process our decision makings. And I'm pretty sure that many of us can have this situation, to remember the situation when you plan something, but then you go and you've done something that you never thought you're going to do, and it's might have been a great decision at the moment, might have been a bad decision, but it was on a spot that you turn around, kind of your thinking turned, that you were planning one thing but then you did another, and people ask you, but why did you do that? And you're like, well, I kind of don't know, it's just happened. I just had this urge and I did this, right? And that's not the the usual way of decision making that we usually um, go about, and how we process our decision making. So where am I going with this? Where am I going with this is that it actually, our decisions that are time pressed, and when we stressed, and in the situations maybe where our safety is concerned, or our job, or whatever it is, that we don't have all this time to analyze. We we then make our decisions based on our core values and core beliefs, and we never think about it really, like we just like, oh, that's how I feel, or this feels like right decision to make. But it's very useful for us to take a moment and to look into that, because it all depends on what your core beliefs are. And how would you know that this is your core belief or not, and how did you make decision? So I want to make an example, so you kind of know what I'm talking about and where I'm going with it. For example, you're at work, and you witness that the other coworker was bullied, or I don't know, like written up or something, and you think, and it wasn't the right thing to do, it wasn't their fault, so they were mistreated, let's say, right? And you can think about it logically and decide that that wasn't fair, and you think you want to do something about it, so it's the right thing to do for you. And you go and you say yes, you go and say to somebody, like, that was wrong, let's rethink that. You want to step in and protect the person or help them out, but then you may find that you're in dissonance with yourself, kind of thing. So if you did it only logically and it didn't really align with your core beliefs, what will happen? You will find that out because you, for example, stepped in and protected somebody from like bullying or some kind of a situation, but then later you start worrying and have like kind of worries and anxieties about the whole situation. And you know what that tells you really? That probably your top core beliefs are not really aligned. And what I mean by that, that you might be worried now that you will be reprimanded somehow. And really deep down, your core belief is a safety, right? not justice, for example. So if your core belief, the top core belief for you is justice, then you will feel brave, you will feel happy, you will continue supporting and pushing, for that subject and to help the person that we're making up a story about right now. But if your core belief, the top priority in your core belief systems, um, is actually safety, then you might feel worried, because what if I get reprimanded? What if I get in trouble? Even though you did make a decision to step in and protect the person or help them because it was logical and it was the right thing to do, but you might feel this feeling, unsettled feeling. And that means, you can think about it and decide what it is with your core beliefs, right? And why it's important, because if you are in a situation where you're threatened in some way, you're pressured with something, you're time sensitive, you don't have time to logically think. So if it would be a situation that you had to make that decision right away, and you went on that moment, you might not have done what you've done. You might not have stepped in and protected that person or talked for them or somehow, made it know that it was wrong, because you would have acted on your core belief. And it's important to know we don't like to dig deep and look into ourselves, because we find things we might not like, or we find things we like. But it's important to be aware of this. And why I'm talking about this, because as people, we're so nowadays like more like robots, we're so pre-programmed to follow certain patterns and certain decisions that we don't really stop and think anymore why we do what we do and how we make decisions. And I really feel that it's very important to understand yourself, to understand why you did what you did and where you're coming from. And you don't have to tell anybody about it, right? You just have to be honest with yourself to know what is your highest priority, why you choose things you choose, why you make this decision. It's great when we are safe and everything is fine and we have time to gather information and logically think about it and analyze, and then think about outcomes and then act on it. So that's nice decision making process. But when we don't have that, what if you witness an accident or a robbery? How will you react at that moment? Like, what will be your first impulse? What will be the driver to make that decision? And it all comes down to like what you believe in, what your values are. And it's very important. And if you do find something that you think maybe I should reevaluate, there are ways and abilities to reevaluate your core beliefs, like reframe your values and bring it to alignment to what you want it to be. um, People back home right now, like my home country, Ukraine, they make very difficult decisions nowadays and very fast, and they have to do it. And it's a lot about safety, especially for women with family. Of course, the top priority will be safety, but it's not all like it doesn't have like it can't be logical all the time, right? And sometimes people do things and then you know they can't really explain why, and that's what I'm trying to say, that when you can't really say why you did what you did, it's because most likely you just acted on those core values and core beliefs that are very important to know. And um, and you can do it yourself, or you can work with somebody like a coach to go through that and decide like what it is that you really value. And it actually helps your goals, helps like alignment of your purpose. It everything comes together when you do that work and dig deep down. And I'm so grateful for the guys who told me that my sound was bad again. Thank you so much. And I'm so grateful that you're here. I don't know if I made sense to you with all my talk, but I really want to encourage everybody, while you save, while you have great, life peaceful here, you should be working on yourself. Take that time, don't waste it, because you never know what might come, into your life when you are faced with some situation, and you want to know what it is that will help you to make right decision. If you already know what it is that is highest priority for you, that is most important to you, like, is it value of human life, is it justice, is it safety, um, anything, you need to know your value. What is your top three values that is really uncompromisable, that you have to align your life with, your decisions with? Because if you don't, you still don't, like, I mean, you don't have to, but you're not going to be happy if you don't align, right? If what is at your core doesn't align with your decisions and your goals and where you're going, then it's hard to find uh, success and happiness in your life. It's hard to find that alignment that will bring you like real joy and fulfillment. So that's why it is important. And if you find something that you think, oh, that's what I value really, because if you go through some situations that you had to make a decision and then you have feelings attached to it. It was something serious, not like, I'm going to go buy a purse or something. Obviously, some serious situations in your life when you had to make decisions, you can go back and revise that and see how you felt after. You know, did you feel that you made the right decision and it was good, and no matter maybe outcome wasn't exactly what you expected, but you still feel that you did a right thing, then you aligned and you can dig and you know what your values are. For example, if something happened at work and you think it's wrong, are you going to speak up, or you're going to say it's not my business, right? And it depends on your core value. Is being comfortable is your highest core value? Then maybe it is not your business, it's other department or whatever it is. But if you know um, humanity or justice or other values are higher, then you're going to go and help or talk or try to change the situation. Even maybe if others are not happy with you, will still speak out, because that's what it is. And you can change, as I said, you can change your values. If you don't really align with them right now, or you don't really like them, whatever you found out, right? um, but I just don't know. I just want to bring that message that you can't just flow through life kind of on autopilot. Sometimes you should stop and look into it and look deeper and find what drives you from inside, what drives your decision. Because all those steps that you can find on internet, it's great, but it's more like management, right? Management of how to make decision. But real decision that will drive you and motivate you comes from your core values and like from who you really are inside out. Otherwise, it's not gonna flow, and it's gonna be a struggle, and it's not gonna be fun to do the things you want to do if they don't align and you don't understand why you're doing it really and what your values are. And I want to say hi to Dr. Sabina. Thank you for being here from Japan, and some other wonderful people. Thank you so much. I really hope that this makes some of you think about it, you know and review your values and your decisions, what you do and what is important for you, and how you decide what is important to you. Because again, it helps you live a better life, a more fulfilled life, and a more peaceful life, no matter what's happening around around you, what kind of chaos. When you're sure of what what you value and where you're going and what you want, and you're aligned, it brings peace and it brings stability. It grounds you. So that's what I wanted to say. And I'm so grateful for everybody who stopped by to listen, and to all of you who will listen later and watch later. Thank you so much. And if you ever want to talk to me about life coaching, which about clarity, defining goals, finding your core values, figuring out why you do things you do, if you want to align yourself really to what you want to do and to achieve some of your desirable goals, you can always find me here on LinkedIn. I will repost my link in comments. And I thank you so much. And I will see you next time. I hope it was helpful. And I hope I encouraged you to think and dig deeper. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. You take care.